Welcome to Comfort Happy number 2. This is my last video for tonight. I deleted the previous video because I compared it to the wrong thing and I don't have an editing ability on this laptop. So, we're starting over. Alright, so here's the thing. If you're not mixed, you don't get it. I made about 4 or 5 videos on TikTok about that. That ain't one of them. I have no idea what that is.
If you were not...
So, let's see if I can find the damn things. Okay, nope, that's not one, because that's the one about me being pissed off about the girl thinking I was creepy for apologizing. Please go see the videos that I shot before I started singing the song 1. Let's see. I think these might be it. Are you it?
I
Nope,
apologize.
that's not it. Are you it? Yep, that's part 3 though. Where's part 1? That's part 2. You must be part 1.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to play these videos and then we're going to chat because this will be a lot easier for me to digest or for you to digest, and that way it'll be done. So I got 3-minute videos and then we'll piggyback off of that. So video 1.
Story time. But more factual because I couldn't stitch this video. I'm going to break this down to all you people who are not multicultural or biracial or mixed on any level. There are a few things that y'all just don't get, alright? Now let me explain this to y'all. There are pros and cons to everything. Being mixed has a lot of pros and an equal amount of cons. Because one, being mixed, you can see, depending on how mixed you are, all the sides of view. You can see the white side, the black side, the Native American side, and in that case being my side. If you can just be two, then you can see whatever the two you are mixed with from both sides, because we can walk in all those worlds and understand where people are coming from. And the best way to explain it to someone of the different race of where this person is coming from. It's kind of the same thing with racism, alright? See, mixed kids, when we get racially attacked, we get racially attacked from all the sides that we are mixed with. I'm living proof of that, as I've said in other videos. Unfortunately, I've had most of my racial attacks come from black people. I've had 2 racial incidences from natives and about 5 to 6 racist incidences from white people. Now, the thing is, if you guys saw a picture of my mom, you would think she was white. I've lost her in a crowd of white people. That's why her nickname is Premium Blend. Now, my dad, he looks black. But his dad was black. His mom was native. My mom's mom was mixed with native and black, or just native, we don't know, because she was adopted. My mom's dad was mixed with black and white. So I'm 1,000% but. So let me break this down for you. Not all blacks, whites, or natives are racist. However, there are a lot of blacks, whites, and natives that are racist. Now, being able to see that in general is how we face the world as mixed people. Now, see, if you're mixed and you come from a family that isn't racist, you tend to understand why some white people are racist and why some white people are not. Why some black people are racist and why some black people are not. Why some natives are racist and some natives are not. Now, if you are not mixed, you don't get it. And you won't get it. Because whatever your race is where you're going to stand. Whether it's right or wrong, your moral compass is thrown out the window. And in most cases, people who don't understand what racism actually looks like, or haven't been the victim of it, generally throw their moral compass out the window. As earlier, if you've been watching videos that I've made this week about the Asian color wheel, which I did not know existed until this week. I just thought it was a black thing because of the brown paper bag test. There'll be a part 2. But that's when this blue line stopped.
Okay, so that's part 1.
Part 2. Let me get you up to speed before we go further. So there was a video of a black person slapping an Asian person in the face with a complimentary egg roll, which is how we got here. Someone, as they complimented on my comment about being mixed, so I can relate to this because it was an Asian and black thing, and biologically Native Americans are Asian. So it's a long story that we're not going to go into. If you find the video, good. If you don't, good. Anyway, someone said that it was something that Trump would say. First off, I'm not a fan of Trump. I don't know if that guy was directing that at me or not, and I'm not going to take that shit personally, so don't take this personally. I'm not a fan of Trump. I will never be a fan of Trump, and Trump is a bona fide racist to Native Americans and Asians. Black people don't know it, but he's just throwing you guys a bone, and if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with that because back in 1993, when I was like damn near 20 years old, he didn't want Native Americans to have casinos, as if Native Americans don't deserve to earn money and don't have the right to have money for the land in which was stolen from them. Alright, yes, I am part Native, and I'm going to stand for my Native side as much as I'm going to stand for my black and my white side. Now, back to the matter at hand. If you are not multicultural or biracial, you don't seem to understand both points of view. The reason you don't want to understand both points of view is because of your moral compass. And if your moral compass leads to more racist shit, you're going to be racist towards the opposition. Regardless, at the end of the video, the man who is Asian in the video says he could care two shits that the guy is black. The fact that the guy threw a complimentary fucking free egg roll at somebody, and he points out the tragedies of blacks and Asians in whatever state they're in. I understand this because, yes, I have been mistaken for a Samoan and a Polynesian, and I have been mistaken for a Mexican, and I'm pretty sure people can see that I'm part black, skin tone and all, but I have been mistaken for other races as well. And the thing about being mistaken for races comes with being mixed, where people literally don't know what you are. So they literally find an excuse to throw a racist slur at you. So, to the guy who said what he said about the thing that Trump would say, maybe. But I've lived this shit, alright? I've lived racism. I've lived being called a half-breed and a mutt for the majority of my 48 years of life. So trust me when I tell you, if y'all don't understand this, it's because mixed people are the only ones who really get it. Y'all other people who are not mixed, y'all don't understand what's going on because you throw your moral compass out of the way and you're pro this or pro that, and you're going to side with that. Alright?
Okay, there's a part 3. Hold on. I believe there's actually 4 parts.
Okay, look. Here's the thing. Alright? There's no race that is above racism. In general. No race. Every race has people in it that are racist. And this is the part that people who are in those races who are not mixed don't get. I understand why there are people who are of color who hate people who are not of color. It has been explained to me by both sides on more than one case. Alright? It's not every day that someone comes to you and says, hey, we don't want you on our side because you're not really one of us. We don't want you on our side because you're not really one of us. Well, back when I was a child, I experienced that from blacks and whites before I even knew I was Native. I understand that shit. There was a race war in my grade school where the black people would tell me I was part H, and the white people would tell me I was part N. So we can't trust you because you're going to go run and tell all those N people, and sure as hell if the black people didn't go and say, you're going to go and tell all those H people. Alright? The H and N are racial derivatives that I am not going to use here, but go Google them. Alright? So, here's the thing. I can tell you about racism firsthand because I come from 3 different ethnicities that has been racist to me. Right? I've unfortunately had more racist issues with black people than white people. I've had the least racist amount of issues with Native Americans and Southeast Asians or Asians in general, not counting the biological Asians that are Native American. Now, Natives, the only 2 that I've had a problem with, straight told me I couldn't date one of the High Chief's daughters because I wasn't pure blood. And they had no problem telling me that to my face. Where the the white people would always go around calling me half-breed and other derivatives. The black people would also equally half-breed and other derivatives. I would do everything I could to keep my mom from having to come to school because my mom could be white passing. I would do everything I could to not have my dad come to school because my dad looks black. And being the victim of racism from both sides before finding out that we were Native didn't help. When I found out I was part Native, it went from 0 to 60, and it got worse as I got older. There will be a part 4. But I'm just letting you know, if you're not mixed, you don't get it. See, I had a lot of people
I think I
writing me in
missed up on 4. Where the hell was 4?
class when I was young.
Okay, maybe there isn't a part 4, because this jumped straight to 5. Okay, maybe I misnumbered it.
People writing me in class when I was younger about
It says part 5
my
right there, though.
ethnicity. And the thing with that is, it takes its toll on you as a child. Because kids are cruel. They are. Kids are exceptionally cruel. And they don't care. Because again, moral compasses and not being taught properly at home, that's how these things happen. This will be my last video because I do have to go to work in like 10 minutes. But you have to understand this thing. If you haven't been the victim of racism, or if you are multicultural or biracial, you don't seem to know what we know, especially when it comes to racism. You don't seem to understand how we know, alright, this is the white view, this is the black view, this is the Native American view, or this is the white view, this is the Asian view, this is the white view, this is the black view, this is the Asian view, this is the black view. And it really depends on what you're mixed with, because mixed kids would get it. It's all of you that are not mixed that don't get it. And you don't get it because you don't know how to listen. You don't know how to use reason of thought. You know how to process your argument. There are pros and cons to your argument, to my argument, to every argument. But if you're not willing to listen to the argument before you make a rash or a brash decision on what your next step is, this is how these things happen. This is how these fights happen. This is how everything that rumbles in a circle happens, because no one wants to take their head out their ass and be wrong. Everyone wants to be right. You can't all be right. Someone has to be wrong. You might be right on some level or another depending on how it affects you directly, but if it affects you indirectly, there's a good chance that you are wrong. But also there's a good chance that if it affects you indirectly, you might be right. But it all depends on your course of action from that point. Like I said, I didn't want my parents coming to school because kids were already giving me a hard enough time. I did not need them to have another excuse to say, hey, James, you have a white mom. Or, hey, James, your dad is black as fuck. You know, they need that. Had they seen my great-grandmother or my grandmother, I'd have really been fucked. Luckily, my dad's people lived in Smithville. My mom's people live in Charlottesville and Nelson and some in Richmond. And some of my dad's people live in Smithville and in Philadelphia and some in Richmond. So, you know, it's a thing, you know, and if you're not mixed, you just won't get it because you don't know what to look for. You don't know who to listen for. You don't know what to listen to. And you're all spinning the same circle, but none of y'all are listening. You have to listen. And you have to hear what you're listening to. And you have to process it. Other than that, you're never going to get it. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so now that you get all that from my TikTok, the thing is really nothing more to really cover other than the fact that no one listens, and I was only doing 4 videos and I misnumbered that. That's why it was number 5. If you got eagle eyes, you would see that. We as people, the mixed ones, we are up to speed. Believe it or not, we are up to speed. If you are mixed with Native, you're up to speed on Pipeline 3, Pipeline 5. There's not a lot of people that I can talk to about it here because I don't know who to get in touch with the Monacan natives that are here. I don't know who to get in touch with the Rappahannock. I don't know who to get in touch with. So I sit in the corner of my room and just pray. Up to speed with recent events in black culture, like my cousin being shot the other day. Yeah, we're up to speed on shit like that. Up to speed on what's going on in black news and Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Do I support it all the way through? Let me put it to you this way. I'm a strong believer in all lives matter, but I'm also a strong believer in do the right thing. If you're Black Lives Matter and you're not hustling and you're doing the right thing, then I'm with you. If you're Black Lives Matter and you're doing like that leader that got busted for like millions of dollars that was embezzled and buying a brand new home and everything, no, I'm not with you because you're using other people's lives, exploiting them and their deaths to get money, and you're using that money for you versus the cause of what Black Lives Matter actually stand for. You know, and it's the same thing. I have no ill will to white people. I have white people in my family, and I love them, and I hope that they love me. But I'm not going to judge every white person I meet by the white people in my family because the white people in my family are cool as fuck. Not every white person that I've met has been cool as fuck. And on that same note, not every black person that I've met has been cool as fuck. Same with every native that I've met, which I've only really met 3. 2 of them sucked, and the other one, he's cool as fuck. But, you know, the thing is, everybody is different. And everybody has a different moral compass. Let me end it with this train of thought. Alright? When you wake up every day and you're not having affirmations about I'm proud to be black, or I'm proud to be white, or I'm proud to be native, or I'm proud to be Asian. But when you go out and someone makes it feel horrible for you to be an Asian person, or a black person, or a white person, or a native person, something's wrong there. Because, you know, you got rappers and singers that come out, you know, I'm proud to be black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all, and if you're gonna mess with me, then you'll be whack, y'all. Well, white guys don't have that, but they do have Eminem, and we love Eminem too. Uh, you know, it's a moral compass thing. Don't think white people have white pride songs, and if they do, a lot of black people misconstrue that and thinking that it's a white supremacy thing. So white people don't sing it because they're like, you know, if I sing it, um, some whites are gonna think that I'm doing white supremacy, and black people are gonna think that I'm racist because I have white pride. And there's nothing wrong with being white and having white pride, as long as it's white pride and not white supremacy pride, you know. But, you know, a lot of people aren't aware of that shit. So they'll think immediately, oh, he's a white motherfucker. He's probably a racist. You can't say that about white people because you don't know that motherfucker. Get to know them before you throw that stone and say, oh, he's a racist. No, he might not be a racist. You know, he might be the motherfucker that you need. He might be the ally that you need. And on that same ship, on the other shoe, if you're Asian or black, you know, that person that you think is racist might not be racist at all. You need to get to know them. And this is the thing that makes people know that y'all don't. Y'all aren't willing to get to know people. You know, people have a bad day. This Asian woman that pissed me off on TikTok that I read about in my other video. You know, I'm not gonna blame every Asian woman for this chick's actions. That wouldn't be fair. Plus, my crush is one of the most beautiful Asian women I've ever seen, and I'm deadly in love with her. Go Zeta. Anyway, you know, the whole point is that, you know, with people and racism, if you're not mixed, the reason why you don't get it is because you suffer from head and ass syndrome. Let me make another point. All right, same thing for the Alphabet Squad, Alphabet Mafia, whatever you want to call yourselves. Look, I'll put it to you nicely. I don't consider myself a homophobe, but I do not want to date in your community. If you think that is wrong, talk to me about it. Let me explain my views. You will probably call me a homophobe. In fact, I will make a video about that after this video. But the point being made, and this is for the LGBTQ people plus whatever, the Alphabet Squad. You can change your gender or your sexuality on paper, and if you have the money, you can physically make the change. And I don't see anything wrong with that. What I do see wrong is if you're not open and honest about it when you start a relationship with someone who's not into that. Because anything started with a lie can only end badly, and you should know that going in, so you shouldn't tell a lie. And the people you may start a relationship might be open-minded enough to accept you for who you are, who you were, and what's going on in your life. I can't promise you that their families and their friends will accept you, but that one person might be the difference maker. So you should never start a relationship with a lie. That being said, when we are created by the Great Spirit, by God, by Jehovah, by Allah, whichever religion you choose to plead, I'm not here to push that shit down your throat. I believe in God and I'm leaving it there. What you choose to believe is up to you. I have no right to tell you that you can't. But when you are born, when you are created, when you come into this world, you do not tell God, hey God, I want to be a sexy Asian woman. I want to be a sexy Asian man. I want to be a buff, badass black dude. I want to be a rich white dude. I want to be a rich white woman. I want to be a rich white man. I want to be a rich black man. I want to be a rich black woman. The list goes on and on. Nobody I've met in my life can tell me that they were in heaven and told God where they wanted to be born, and God just Thanos snapped the shit out of their ass and they're on Earth exactly how they want. No, that's not how this shit works. You don't get a say in that. You don't get to pick your gender. You don't get to pick your family. You get to pick the life you want after you are born. You get to go out and choose the job you want. God willing that you get the money for college. God willing that if you're born into a rich family and you go to college, God willing that you find something that makes you happy. As far as gender and skin or race, you don't get a say in that shit. Now, if you got money and you choose to change your skin tone or your race or your gender, hey, modern world, good for you. But on a realistically speaking basis, we don't get that choice. Keep that in mind before you make any bad decisions. Thanks for watching. It's Kung Fu Hammer number 2. Be seeing.